What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Monica, and it's time to close the notary business, okay? Maybe you've been waiting on somebody to say it. Maybe you've already done it. Maybe you've been contemplating it, but it's just time. I have accepted it, and it's time, so I'm just doing this video to give you permission. If you've been tinkering on whether or not to do it, it's okay, right? So why, right? What am I talking about? Well, number one, when you look at it, the notary business is a struggle-based business model. Struggle-based. And I want to stay here for a second because I particularly suffer from this syndrome, okay? Of where I've got to work hard. If I'm not working hard, then it's not right. You know what I'm saying? You might have subconsciously or consciously chosen this business model because you share that syndrome. In your mind, if you're not grinding and working hard and trying to get it out the mud, then it's not real to you. You know, that is very important to you. And I'm telling you, hear me. Anytime you get into a business where you can't charge but $2 or $5 or $10, okay, and you got to do what everybody else says you have to do, and you have to be where everybody else says you have to be, and there's no difference in the service that you provide from one notary to the next. It's a commodity, like a can of corn. Anytime you choose to get into that type of a business, you are subconsciously more than likely dealing with being programmed to struggle. Okay, I said it. Because I can only talk about it because I'm dealing with it myself. Programmed to struggle. If the lights went out right now and the plumbing went out, I could figure it out because I have been programmed to struggle. I can figure it out in any type of situation. There is nothing that can happen to me in my life because I've already been through so much that I can't figure out how to flush the toilet without the plumbing, how to heat the house without the electric, okay? The struggle situation in our minds and our subconscious is a real thing. And some of y'all don't even know what I'm talking about, okay? But some of y'all do, okay? And what I'm saying to you in this video is a part of the reason that you probably even chose this business model to begin with is because you programmed to struggle. The struggle is a part of your DNA, and you can't understand why you can't get out of it because it's ingrained in you, right? So it's too easy for everybody else to get in, right? It's a commodity-based service, and it's severely capped. Those are the top reasons to stop. Stop, okay? Stop taking these signings. You're not making any money. You think you're making money, but you're really not, because the time that you are taking, even if it is $150 or $200, right? The time that you're taking to go do this $200 thing, which we all know they ain't paying everybody no more, right? You could be doing something else. Those are called opportunity costs. Every single one who is hearing my voice right now has a higher and better use of their time than stamping a document. Your intellect is higher than that. You've chosen this notary side hustle because it, in your mind, was a way to get some extra money. But a part of that decision and using this to get extra money was because you are programmed to do things the hard way. Woo! Let me tell you, when you get this, you will understand a lot about, if you look at other areas of your life, you will probably see this following you all around. I am 100% the queen of the struggle situation, okay? I named my farm out the mud, for goodness sakes, okay? Why? Because I can get it out the mud. That's like my mantra. That's like, even in real estate, I worked the ugliest properties with the most problems in the hood and this and that, right? Struggle. Because what I believe is that there was some honor in the struggle. And there is, to a degree. But you have to get to a place in your life. And I think this is because I'm approaching 50 years old. So I'm talking to you 30-somethings. I'm talking to you 40-somethings. Some of y'all ain't going to get it until you start hitting 50. You do not have to struggle, okay? You do not have to pick a business model where the most you can charge is $2. Where are they doing that at, okay? You do not have to pick a business model where you got to spend all of this money and sit and wait on your money to maybe hit your account, maybe, right? Those are the earmark signs that you have a little thing in you in your DNA where you feel like struggle is necessary and it's not. So the opportunity cost, right? When you think that $150, oh, this is some good extra money. Think about this. Think about you cannot rewind an hour, right? Think about all of the highest and best uses of your time. You could spend your time with your son or your daughter or your grandmother or your mother or your father for that hour and it be more valuable than that $100 signing, right? Just as an example, you could spend time learning how to build a funnel instead of running after that $100. You could spend more time learning how to, building up your business model and doing whatever else with this new higher and best use business than that $100 or $150 signing. Some of you won't hear me, but at least I'm letting you know, right? Because your girl finally gets it, right? I mean, it took me 13 years to get to $1 million. I am not preaching at you. I'm talking to you from a place of I am who I am talking to, okay? I don't want you to have to do that, right? It should not take 13 years for an intelligent individual with multiple skill sets to hit $1 million in this economy. Even though this economy has changed over the years, I still should have done it faster if you ask me, right? Why am I looking at it that way? I am looking at some of the other things being done, trying not to compare myself, but it's hard, right? Where you see people making $100,000 a month over here, you're like, what? Like how? Wait a minute, right? And you start to think about, wait a minute, why am I struggling? Why is this so difficult? Because you have chosen a business model that forces you to do that. With my real estate, I specifically sought out the problem properties that nobody else wanted. Struggle. When I got into the farming space, I didn't have anything, right? I picked doo-doo, rabbit poop. It don't get no more struggle than that. Have you cleaned out a barn full of rabbit poop lately? Okay. Then I come into the digital space and I give all of this value in the way of Notary Nerd University for $37 a month. Struggle, right? So when I tell you I'm talking from a place of 2025 is not going to be that for Monica, right? And I hope that it's not going to be there for you because it's time to close the notary business. Now, what about when things pick back up? Okay, get back in. But get back in it from the point of view of you're the head and not the tail, okay? You're not running up and down the highway with 300 pieces of paper to do a signing. You've earned the right to not do that anymore. And if you can't figure a way to build a team so that you can take advantage of the next wave, because there will be another wave, right? Then just don't do it. But what I would focus on, to me, is figuring out, okay, why am I doing this business model when I know it's capped? It's severely capped, right? There is, not one notary service that's any better than another, right? Everybody's doing the same basic thing. So I'm purposely getting into a business model where there's a whole bunch of me and I can't make but so much money. That's like self-sabotage at its finest, right? So the nature of this business model, for you to choose that, there may be something in you. I'm just saying, there may be something in you that has the same problem like what I have, and that you feel like you have to be struggling all the time. Okay, and that is not true. Okay, it is absolutely 100% not true. Now, what does this look like? Okay, so if I close everything down, which I will be, 2025, I'm shutting it all down. I'm shutting down the LLC that's got over $600,000 in revenue, that's got an economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business associated with it, shutting it down. Why am I doing that? Why would I not let this, it's still making money, but why would I shut down something that's making money? Because what it does, even though it's making money, it still drains some of my energy out. Because I'll get an email of a customer service thing, and then I get a comment on a YouTube video. Where can I find this? Or how can I get that? And to be honest, I'm just like over it. Like, I don't know. I don't even know. We don't even have that anymore. Okay. Because I realized later in the game, and let me just be real clear. I am thankful because if I hadn't have found the notary space, I would still have been struggling in the real estate space. I'm not going to even sit up here and lie. I'm not going to keep you I'm going to tell it like it is. It took me 10 years to make $500,000 in real estate. Okay. It wasn't until the last 3 or 4 years that I was able to generate, the money coming from this business model, this digital business model in the notary space was ridiculous. But it was still a struggle because I was doing it the hard way, because I'm programmed to do that. Now that I'm aware of it, I'm working on unprogramming myself, and I'm hoping that this is the beginning of you unprogramming yourself too. Because like I said, the mere fact that you chose this business model in the first place is a sign, okay? I'm just saying, okay? Focusing for me, shutting everything else down allows me to focus on a business model that is in line with my highest and best skill set. I was talking to my good Judy, okay, this weekend, and we were talking about, business and what we should do and woo, 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 woo. And as we were talking, I was going back to all of the things that I have done. I was like, you know what? I am a broker. I am a middlewoman, right? When it comes to the real estate, I bring parties together to solve a problem. When it came to the farming, I brought people together to solve a problem. Catholic Charities needed hundreds and hundreds of pounds of fruits and vegetables that I did not have. So I found somebody, got a freight broker, got a farmer in New Orleans, and connected the dots, wrote the contract, paid the people, boom, boom, boom. The middleman. When it came to the notary space, I got into the notary space. I didn't know anything about being a notary, but I realized that there was a problem. There was a whole bunch of notaries who did not want to do loan signings, and there was nobody that was giving them what they were needing, some alternative education. Everybody was focused on loan signings. So I created Notary Nerds University. I am constantly, my highest and best function is to find a solution to people's problems. That is what I do. I have been doing that since I was a little girl, and it has followed me all throughout my career. And so when I go into 2025, the highest and best use of my time is finding big solutions for big problems. Okay. And the way that looks for me in 2025 is the Dunn Agency. And it would not have happened unless I had been on the struggle bus for 13 years. I have been a full-time, self-employed entrepreneur, mom of 4 boys, struggling, right, for 13 years. It took me 13 years to make $1 million. And I have no idea where it's at, right? It's gone, right? But my point to you is this. I did it according to the IRS, okay? Now, when I tell you that in 2025, in the 12 months, if it's in God's will and I see all 12 of those months, I will make $1 million next year with this agency. Why? Because I am politely getting off the struggle bus. I am politely accepting the fact that I am worthy. Hello. Some of us don't feel worthy. I am worthy, right, of not struggling. I shouldn't have to struggle. I should be able to find someone who appreciates the value that I bring to the table and price myself accordingly, because a lot of us that deal with the struggle, the lack of worthiness, what we tend to do is underprice ourselves. Am I sounding familiar? Okay. And you undercharge your stuff because you're more concerned about the people being able to afford it than you are the value you are bringing to the table. I know plenty of notary creators that are in that space. Well, I'm going to do it for $4, or here's my $3 ebook, or here's my 20. Y'all got a dozen things under $10. Okay. And people still don't appreciate that, right? So when I tell you a part of the reason why we do that, and I'm learning this, is because there's a part of us that doesn't feel worthy. We feel like we have to do and do and do for people in order to have achieved some level of success, to have earned the right to say that we are business owners, that we're successful business owners. See how I help these people? These people ain't finna pay your bills. You better figure out your highest and best use, and you better figure out what that looks like from a value proposition, and you better stick to it, because guess what? Everybody is not your customer, okay? So when I said at the beginning of this, it's time to close the notary business, It's time to physically close the notary business because it's a part of a bigger mental problem. Okay? And I said it like that because I mean it. It's a reflection. Being in the notary business, being in a business, starting a business where you know that you can only make so much money is indicative of you not feeling worthy to make a lot. Anybody that chooses on purpose to do the things that notaries need to do in order to make money has a little bit of them that feels like, okay, I'll just take this and do this because it's better than nothing. That mentality is a part of the struggle mentality. And if you want to, debate me in the comments, I'm here for it because it needs to be said, okay? 2025, you do not need to feel like you have to continue to struggle. Stop grabbing these little $100, $65, it's almost insulting. They want you to drive to Timbuktu for $65 with scan backs. Where are they doing that at? And then they'll send you your money 3 weeks later? I can spend time with my grandson. No, thank you. Okay? I can spend time, and this is coming from somebody who didn't do not one signing. Okay? I might have done a voter registration. Okay? I'm not renewing my notary commission. I'm not doing any of that. Okay? So for all of you who are out there who love being a notary signing agent and you're doing the dang thing, do your thing, boo. Do your thing. But for those of you who have been struggling to hold on to the LLC and pay the LLC fees, and you're looking at your phone to see, oh, there's a sign, I might grab that. Remember, it's not worth it, okay? Because you have to go back to that subconscious reason why you even chose to be in this type of business model in the first place, right? And I'm preaching to myself. I had to do this examination, which is where this video has even come from. I was going to let things continue to flow. I'm making money with it. I'm still bringing in money, right? I'm going to let it flow. But it cost me because I'm having to focus some of my energy on some of the things, the customer service and responding to emails and responding to YouTube comments and keeping all of that going, right? So why would I stick and stay in a struggle-based business model that's draining me, even if it is bringing the money that it bringing in some money, when I could be making more money by focusing on solving problems for clients who are ready and willing to pay me for the value that I can truly bring, which is helping people solve problems. I had to stop and recognize that is my thing, right? From real estate to farming to digital space, that is my thing. So the agency starts in 2025. If you want help making the transition, right, into your next thing, or maybe you want more information on how to start an agency, join me on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we have this thing now. I have this thing now called Coach's Corner, where it's my mission to help people get to their highest and best use. Okay. And I feel like a lot of us have it and some of us don't realize it. And you need a space to be able to hear other people say, girl, you need to be doing this, or you need to be doing that. Right. So, my whole point is Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock is going to be a safe space for you to come and try to figure out what your next move needs to be in 2025. It's called Coach's Corner. And yes, I'm closing all my stuff down, but I'm not telling you to, okay? You can keep yours. I'm just letting you know that's what that looks like for me, okay? So I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say in the comments. I know y'all going to come for me. Some of y'all just die hard notary signing agents, Jesus. Do your thing. But at the end of the day, if you getting into a business where you can't make but so much money, ask yourself why. See you on the next video. Peace.